Me.
Yeah. You know, it's us. It's y'all. We here together Thursday night. Where the hell else would you rather be? Literally anything podcast for the people. Forgive my background noise because my microphone picks up everything. There's a large truck going down my block at an extra high speed. That's just what it is. Welcome, and as always, 3 times welcome. We got the team here. My guy, I'm not saying that. What is this? Him Jung? Like
Him Jong Un.
okay, right.
Bro, I'm really him. Like that's why. Like
D
my
Hood,
dad. Yeah, my dad's name
aka
is Darnell.
Him Jung Un. Yo, my
Yeah,
guy Rob Riley, aka
for the
Rob
most part.
RileyReally in the building. We always get goofy when Rob's here. Like shit always get wild when Rob here. But I think the subject matter for a good portion of what we're doing is kind of serious. But we still might. Who knows? I'm not gonna put any expectations on any of this because I want everyone to feel free to make this shit as weird as possible. I'm okay with it. Like I'm absolutely fine with that.
You about to be sick of me.
Well, nigga, that's just you every week. Like that's just what you do. Like so I won't be sick of you. I'll just expect it. But anyway, as always, like I said, team's here. Thursday night, 7:30 to 9:30. Talk a little shit, have a little fun, go home. That is the order of business every single week. It is what we do. As always, we start with hot takes. My guy. It's number 14. Was that Will's number or was that Carlton's? Because I always wanted that throwback, but I wanted Carlton's jersey.
All right, because the way he threw that bitch at the because that was something.
It had the hoping face,
bro. We know,
and that
you should
not
have done that. We know
that
you should not have
like
done
the
that.
foul line, bro. Like it wasn't even close. That shit was.
I mean, they was playing on like an 8-5.
Yeah, no, they definitely was playing on
Will
the
Smith,
side
my
court.
height.
They was playing on the B team courts for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like
the little kid courts.
Yeah, no, that shit was terrible. But my guy, we'll start with you for our hot takes. You can get us going out the gate.
I got a couple. Like honestly, I got a few.
I mean, well, here's the thing. If you feel like it'll just pick your one that you like the most and text me the rest, and we'll just get to it in natural order.
Oh, all right, bet.
Do it like that.
So you said something recently about Boomerang on the show. Like I don't remember if it was on Shaw's show or if it was here, but you said something about you made a Boomerang analogy, and I was like, damn, I need to really stop capping because there are some black ass movies that I never really saw. Like on the low, I saw New Jack City in 2016.
You saw New Jack City in 2016?
Like I know I've seen it before. Like I know I've seen it.
You risking your black card by saying
yeah.
Like that's so New Jack City, one of them ones, bro.
But there's so many movies that I know I saw, and I know that when people bring up the parts, I know them culturally, right? You know what I mean? Like I know the jump up point. I know what Pookie looked like skipping through, like all the memorable things I know.
Right.
The in between new, like for instance, why I went back to watch The Wire because all the memorable shit I remembered.
But
it was the nuance stuff. Yeah. So I had to check my black card earlier, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna put on. I was going through whatever on like my home screen on my TV. It gave you like suggestions and shit, and then Boomerang was up there, and I was like, yeah, let me watch Boomerang. Cool.
I mean, to be fair, like at this big age, you see it through a different lens too. Now,
yeah.
There's a lot of nuances that I didn't get when I was a young boy watching it. That now I was like, whoa, like I had to really step back and agree. A lot of things.
A lot of like the obvious. Like as soon as a movie goes on, the obvious is oh yeah, like none of this shit could happen in cinema today. Like it just unless it was from Robin Givens' perspective of how she was doing what she got to do, Sex in the City, black girl, So basically Insecure. Basically, that's the only way we really get that off. We don't get that off from a man's perspective. You want to know why? Because it has to be Think Like a Man 1 and 2.
Right.
So, saying all that to say,
okay,
this was the first time in life I ever looked at Eddie Murphy. Like I ever was like, yo, Eddie Murphy is a black man. like Because like, nah, I'm serious. Explain.
I'm waiting for the punch on this.
Cause like it was like little tiny things. So I keep looking at my TV because I'm not done the movie. I got like he just told his mans that I'm bopping your chick. That's not your chick. Like I'm at that part.
Okay.
So I'm not done, but I got the meat and potatoes. I also have been that nigga, have been that chick, and then have also been Halle Berry, and have also been the dork nigga that's embarrassed by his parents. I've been everybody, and I've been Martin too with not getting yams. I don't know what's the problem. Like I've been all of them niggas in different points in life.
I mean, I don't know that we all haven't been all of those niggas at one point just because of evolution and shit.
So I'm watching. I'm not even really analyzing. I'm just watching it as a movie. I'm like, okay, cool. This a hood movie. This not like nobody's winning no awards for this. But cool. But this is my hot take. I go out to say that I would say that this is one of Eddie Murphy's best performances. Because this is the time where I didn't expect, what I saw on screen is not what I expected what this movie is going to be. From what I know of Eddie Murphy as like a ladies' man, from what I know as Eddie Murphy in black movies, from what I know as Eddie Murphy as a family man, from what I know of him in white movies, I've seen all of those renditions. I've seen every rendition of Eddie Murphy. I've seen him on daytime TV. I've seen him on late night TV. I've seen him on SNL. I've seen him on Raw. I've seen him on Delirious. I've seen him in every aspect. I've seen him as a cameo. I've seen him as the main nigga. I've seen him in stand-up. Like at this point in his career, right? I don't think this is the time where I don't think that I think that Boomerang is probably as close to who he is as a person than all of these things, like just like the little fly shit, like all of the black shit that I feel like we've seen from Eddie Murphy has always been on like kind of like a token level of black people shit, like even like Tower Heist. It was a lot of nigga shit in there, but it was like that's the type of shit that like he reminded me of niggas from like Long Island, but like you at this all white college and you tell people you from the Bronx, but Long Island is so close to the Bronx that you tell people that is kind of the same thing. Like I've never, not to say that it's not authentic. It's just I don't know. It just Eddie Murphy has always felt like.
So you would consider roles like 48 Hours and Beverly Hills Cop, you would consider those as token roles?
Not token, yeah, because you're the only nigga in the movie, so for sure, by definition, absolutely. But
but he's the lead nigga in the movie though. Like,
true. No. True. But what I'm saying is, I know how I act comfortably black around white people, and I know how comfortably black I act around black people. I'm always black. I think that Eddie Murphy that we've gotten 99% of his career has been a comfortable around white people black.
Yeah,
for some reason,
it's definitely a scale.
Yeah, like I feel like this is the closest to the block that I've like. The reason why I know he's a real black man because we had Charlie Murphy as evidence.
Right.
I don't care about no stories from Hollywood or nothing.
The same way. Like them brothers is from the same cloth.
Exactly.
And Charlie all niggas.
Exactly.
Charlie.
I'm not questioning his manhood, not questioning his blackness, not questioning none of that. I'm just saying that I saw what I would deem a higher level of acting from a high level actor, I would believe, and I feel like his more natural habitat, and I appreciated it just as a consumer.
Facts, I can respect that. Yeah, I don't know that I have a retort for that. That's your opinion. I can't be mad at it. As I think about his roles, I don't know. You might be right though. That might be like the blackest Eddie Murphy, like as far as just shit.
But just like
without being over the top. Like without being like a caricature.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. But then also it's like it felt culture. Like when he was spinning around and he was really trying to give her game at that balcony, he was like, nah, this my like, because at first he tried to approach her on humble shit. She laughed at him. So then he was like, oh nah, this my Mac Daddy, this my. So then I was like, oh, this is fucking corny. But then I had to realize this is what 94, 95. Yeah, like Mac niggas really was saying Mac Daddy back then, and it didn't feel forced. It didn't feel forced. It didn't feel dated. So then I was like, oh nah, he really like talking. So then when I'm hearing David Allen Greer talking like a square, he is square, but he's still a nigga. Like
Right.
Martin being who I believe Martin is in real life, and then seeing his dynamic not feel like he was acting, and he was in between that, being like a real, who I would think is a real nigga, who I think is a square nigga. He really fell in between, and it looked good. Like, it looked natural. The movie is not a very good movie. I mean, it's funny. It's not It's
one of those black culture movies where if you call it bad, people get on you. Like,
yeah, but I mean, like, it's not
because niggas grew up watching it. Like, there's a list of those movies for me that I just don't find to be as good as everyone else does. Love and Basketball is at the top of that list.
I know.
We've had this conversation here before. I will not.
It's cool. That's for me. That's another one of them. Like, it's a middle of the road, John. Like, it's cool. There's a time and place for that. It's not trash.
Movie is ass. I'm sorry.
No, it's cliche. That
movie
cliche.
Is ass. Like, y'all keep acting like he wasn't shit the whole time. Y'all keep acting like he ain't you. Like, come on, man. Like, I'm not doing it. I'm not. I don't have
learned it. He learned it from his daddy.
Fuck out of here with that Love and Basketball shit, man.
The last point, because I just thought of this. The last, I guess, point that I'm gonna make with Boomerang, I feel like the next most comfortable role that I would be like, all right, boom, I could equate this to is what's his name from Life. Him, like, I feel like that's comfortable black too.
Yeah, no, Life was like they got a little too comfortable. Like,
right. That's like now I got money
because I'm a nasty motherfucker.
Right.
Like, yeah.
But Eddie Murphy has always been kind of like a nigga that played the game. And then once that real money started coming in, that's when we started seeing him not really care. But his not really care really looked more polished because it was like he'd been around him so long, he kind of assimilated. He's still that nigga. So that was like a time where, like, he was like, oh, nah, now I can really let my shit all the way down because, like, I don't really.
He's gonna check me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm getting my ass beat this whole movie. It's not on some heroism shit, like, no puff my chest out shit. I'm getting emasculated this whole movie. So it's not about my ego. It's really about doing what I want to do.
And just to quickly follow up on that, and this is just a quick interjection because I don't think it's going to come back naturally within the flow of what we got to talk about. Steve Harvey had some comments the other day where they asked him about his Mount Rushmore comedy. And some Twitter people kind of got on him a little bit. His 4 were Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, and he's talking about stand-up comedy. He's not talking about he's not talking about any of that. He's talking about stand-up comedians. So we want to make sure that's clear. He said it's Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart, and the Kings of Comedy as a unit. That was his 4 on the Mount Rushmore. Which
that was cheap too.
Now wait a minute. He also
black comedians or comedians.
But he just said stand-up comedians.
Oh,
he didn't clarify a race or any of that. But what he did, the 2 caveats he did give was that Richard and Eddie are out of the stratosphere. They can't be, their mountains would be solo mountains because they've done that much. So you can't put Richard and Eddie in that discussion. So he's saying, like, they're above that. But then if you come down and you had to do a 4, that would be his 4. Now, and he stood on that shit too, with all the retorts, and there was a lot of things that people were saying, and I don't agree with him because for me personally, Patrice O'Neal stand-up is much better than Kevin Hart personally. To me,
I think Kevin Hart,
everyone won't dig that.
Kevin Hart
is a very niche kind. Like you got to know him to dig his material, but if you get to know his material, it's fucking genius. He was such smart, so sharp, so witty, so pointed. Had such dope views on like really touchy subjects that most comedians wouldn't fuck with. So I always liked him. But that's my personal opinion. But I'm not mad at his 4 though. I'm not mad at it because he's seen all that shit. Yeah. Coming from somebody who, like, as my man like to say all the time, who been in them rooms, like, for him to put them people in that way, in that order, I gotta take that and, like, all right, I'll roll with you, Steve. Like, I ain't gonna trip on it too much.
And he didn't put nobody up. Like, he didn't really go up to put nobody on a everybody that was in that list. I guarantee you had to come to him for a favor at some point, or was ever in a position where he helped them at some point. So that's actually mad dope because he an old head too. Like a lot of, like, you know how old head niggas be.
Mm-hmm.
And
we'll get into that a little bit later too, but in a different form. Yeah, we definitely gonna get into hating ass old head niggas. But yeah,
these niggas, bro.
For me personally, you know, I say my top 2 is gonna be Rock and Chappelle forever. I just think as far as like the it's just the best. Like I haven't enjoyed the stand-up experience more than those two throughout their career. Totally. That's just my opinion. Again, everybody has their own. Some people were talking about Martin. I really feel like You So Crazy is his only really quality stand-up. Like
Run Tell That is cool.
Run Tell That was good. It's not You So Crazy level though.
Yeah.
It's like Eddie got Delirious and Raw. Like you could go 1 and 1A with those. Like, even though I prefer Delirious overall just a little bit. But you could go 1 and like if somebody told me they like Raw more than they like Delirious, I'm not gonna be like you out your fucking mind. But if somebody tell me they like Run Tell That more than they like no, you wildin'.
Can I tell y'all can I tell y'all revoke my black card secret? Okay. So I have seen Raw and Delirious. I have. However,
you never seen You So Crazy?
No. Yeah, I've seen You So Crazy.
Oh, all right.
I keep it a play. I keep it player. I would have never said nothing about Run and Tell That if I never seen You So Crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Like I would have never thrown that out there. So all right, whatever. So damn nigga, I don't even remember what I was about to say. Just the damn.
You was about to
black card secret.
Oh, Black card secret. My black card secret. So all Eddie Murphy jokes, I don't necessarily be knowing which leather suit, patent leather suit it go with, because I wasn't in the rooms when the shit came out. I wasn't even around when the shit came out.
Purple.
So so I know Delirious is purple and Raw is red, right? Or is it the other way around?
There you go.
Okay, so I ain't gonna hold you. I was like 75% there, and I was like, you know what, WWE. Red, Raw. I think. Like,
you using all kinds of wrong ass clues. Yeah.
So that's a hell of a way to go. You took it from comedy to like whatever that drama shit is on wrestling.
So, but okay, all right, boom, switch it, whatever. All right, boom. That's one thing wrong. However, a lot of the jokes, I don't know necessarily off the top of my head which suit it came from. Because how I got familiar with Eddie Murphy stand-up, period, it was from LimeWire, getting like his bits, like whichever it might be like whatever setup in the punchline. So it might be like 5 minutes of material on LimeWire. So I was gobbling. Whoa, hold up. I was downloading a lot.
What? Damn, I wish Mike was here. Yo, holy shit. I wish Mike was here. Wow.
Damn. Never mind.
I'm only staying because it's cool in this room. If it was not, I would have left. Continue.
Hey, bro, you saw that, right? That dodo was flying at my mouth. I knocked that motherfucker into next week. That was quick.
My man says Martin's talking shit is a hidden audio gem. I have not listened to that.
That's my guy. That's my guy.
I have not listened to that. Richard Pryor was the king of audio though. Like he has the most like the best comedy albums ever. Like if you want to just listen to some funny shit, look up his shit. It's fucking hilarious.
I'm not saying look it up. I'm not saying listen for it, but you know who was really like shaking and moving in them rooms for real on the comedy album? Bill Cosby.
No, Cosby had some Jones for sure.
Yeah,
that's why Richard Pryor started doing that shit because it was working for Cosby.
Yeah. That's because that was like where there's good, there's evil. Yeah, well, that was like niggas was like pitting them up against each other. Like Cosby was so successful, now we have this filthy minded person.
Yeah. Whereas, and people don't know that when Bill first started, he was on that shit, but Dick Gregory was on that shit so hard that he was like, listen, I'm gonna just go over here and do it this way. Cause
you know what's funny? Think about what Dick Gregory meant to stand up in his era, right? Like he's saying that. Like, as a young boy. So my stand-up, my love for stand-up comes from like Bad Boys of Comedy, Def Jam.
Wait.
What?
Rob is here with 15 minutes in and my fiance is talking about goblin penis. Damn.
Wow.
That's crazy.
It be your own niggas. Now, guess what? Go get your own fucking ice cream later on.
And I am trying today to be the calmest I've ever been in my lifetime.
Oh,
yep. I'm chilling.
I'm like super calm.
So Freudian slip, as they call it.
Yo, that's wild. So I got into stand up just because of like Bad Boys of Comedy when Def Comedy Jam came back like late, like what 05, 04, 05, 06. So like Mike Bonner, a lot of them like no name niggas like Rob Stapleton, like all of them just like
Stapleton is hilarious. He is underrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember they was like, oh yeah, I figured it had to be like Bad Boys of Comedy, Def Comedy Jam, one of them shits. And it was like, oh, one of the most filthiest stand-up comedians in history, one of the GOATs, And Dick Gregory, old ass, went out there. And I was like, this shit not dirty, bro. Like, this is like regular. Like, this is how we talk at school, nigga. Like, I mean, it was dirty, but it was like,
I realized, bro, started 60 something. Like,
yeah. So, but I'm like, I don't know what, like 13, 12, 13, 14. Right. So, like, Dead Baby Jokes was cracking at the lunch table every day. I got like 4 right now, just off memory.
Kids so much. Go ahead.
So just hearing like pussy hair jokes, that wasn't like,
You was expecting something big and grand, and what you got was just his version of it.
Back then, I wanted to see the 1 second knockout, right? That's what I wanted to see. Like if I was watching boxing, UFC. You know what I mean? Or basketball. I just want to see niggas get dunked on in threes.
You want the punch. You straight to the punch. You don't need none of the other shit.
At this point in life, I like watching WNBA. I like seeing the setup. I like seeing the mechanics. Like I like seeing
you appreciate the process as you go through. Yeah. That's
I don't be watching WNBA. I'm part of the reason why that little ass trophy was that little. Like I'm definitely
that trophy was so disrespectful. I don't know if y'all saw, but the WNBA All-Star game was last week. Kelsey Plum won the MVP, and her MVP trophy was this big.
Yeah.
Like real rap.
That shit actually.
My phone might be bigger than her trophy. I ain't gonna lie to you.
That shit really looked like she was on like a movie. Like they did that on a movie to make fun of American culture. Like that's how bad that trophy was.
It looked like a participation trophy. Anyway, moving on. My man Rob, and I know you said you try and keep it chill, man. But give us something to talk about. Give us a hot take, an opinion, a thought to just keep this juice going that we got so far, good brother.
Okay. I read something like one of my last things reading online before I shut my phone off was about allegations coming up of sexual misconduct.
What?
Allegations.
Oh, allegations. I said alligators.
No sexual misconduct alligators. Allegations. That
would be the craziest shit we've ever talked about. And we've talked about
some crazy having
herpes on this show before.
Yeah.
Like, we've had some wild discussions. Sexually assaulting alligators.
The accused shocked me because I don't think I've ever heard a bad thing about this man. And the guy in question is George Foreman, the fucking grill master.
Word?
Yes. It's like 45-year-old charges now they trying to bring up on George Foreman. And that's when I just shut my phone completely down. I put it on the charger and I was like, I don't want to see the internet at all today.
I'm not going to hold you. That surprises me. And for a person who is very rarely surprised by
that's
like it takes a lot to have me going, really? But no, that's a really moment.
And we bombarded with so much, with R. Kelly, right? And everybody's kind of like on the fence or either one way or the other with R. Kelly. That something like this with somebody of George Foreman's kind of like career is like the only weird thing I ever heard about him was naming all his kids a variation of George, right? That's the only weird thing.
Having 7 Georges in your house is the weirdest shit in the world.
Yeah, and even the kid is like Georgina.
Dad name is
Georgina. Yeah.
Like,
so that's the only weird thing I've ever heard about George Foreman, the fucking grill master. Now,
why you gotta be a grill master?
Because I can't.
You ever made a sandwich on one of them? That
grill.
Grill master. You wildin'.
There was a point in time.
Sandwich on the Foreman grill.
It was a point in time where we was only having George Foreman meals in the crib. Only. Yo, my family. The nigga. Well, at one point, my family in the house, it was just me, my dad, and my cousin Nolan. Sometimes my uncle Bo lived there, and sometimes Nolan's daughter Alicia lived there. At one point, all of us lived in the crib. These niggas hated me so much because my trifling ass couldn't find the turf from the steak wouldn't come. Burger wouldn't come off with the sponge. Scrubbing that shit, and I'm getting mad. I'm trying to leave. It was like I think this is before football practice, like 6th grade. I pull out the fucking Brillo pad. Got that bitch up out of there. Damn. I had that shit. I was like, damn, these niggas gonna love me. I left it up on the shit wide open. Like, I ain't never leave nothing sitting there wide open.
You had to show your work.
Man, I came in the house. You would have thought I walked into an intervention. Yo, it was like damn near like I had like an old lady hitting me in my shit as I'm walking through the door. Somebody poking me with their cane. Like, it was like, yo, like really Buddhist, man.
Yo,
they jumped the shit out of me. Yo, everybody else like, yo, why would you put a Brillo pad on it? I'm like, what? What is a Brillo pad? I had no idea what they were talking about.
You was just trying to get the shit off. You was see, that's funny though, because when you were a kid, sometimes you trying to keep the people off your ass for one thing, and end up in trouble for something completely different.
No, I scraped that shit up so good, but the thing is, I kept saying, I was like, no, I did not. Like, no, because I didn't know. So then they're taking it as you lying. I'm not lying. I didn't know
deceit.
Yeah, like, I don't know no fucking Brillo pad is, nigga. Like, what the fuck is a Brillo pad?
You talking about the metal joint that I cleaned the Foreman grill with?
So then they brought me over there and showed it to me, and I was like, oh yeah, I scraped, because I burnt some stuff when I scraped it off. So, oh, now you want to say yeah? No, nigga, I ain't know what y'all was talking about.
Yo,
that fucked me up. Just hearing that, not even hearing it, just reading that, and I was like, I can't even tell nobody this, but since it's hot take time, I'd rather share that with you guys because it's disturbing.
It is, man. I mean,
oh yeah, for sure.
So, and it's funny because Foreman had like this real wild like fluctuation in his career because when he was actually fighting, and because he was a rival of Muhammad Ali, and Muhammad Ali was such a man of the people, he wasn't super popular during that time.
He was not liked.
He was seen as like a mean dude. Like,
he was like a heel, like in wrestling.
If you seen this motherfucker as a young boy, you wouldn't want to fight George Foreman. Like,
I don't want to fight him in the cook-off now, so I can imagine.
Bro had hands like bear paws. Like, them Jones was crazy. Like, and even when he got old and in the second part of his career when he was selling grills and doing all that, he was still just a big motherfucker. Like, this is you not 6'5", however many 100 pounds, he like big dude. Like, you don't want to fight that. But
not at all.
His second part of his career, based on what the first part of his career is like, is kind of amazing because he was hated, like low key, like not like probably with the same vitriol you would get today because of social media and all those different availabilities to hate you on. But he was not a very happy guy, nor was he very popular during the first part of his career, which is why the second part is always wild. But I say that to say that if these allegations are that old, they may surface from around that point in his career when he still wasn't that guy that he ended up becoming.
And that's what kills me because it kind of makes sense. Like, you putting it in that perspective, I'm glad you opened that up because it makes sense that, yes, this is probably around that era where these things took place. So it's not like, it just feels out of character, but it's not like it's out of place.
Right.
If that makes sense.
No, it makes sense. It makes sense 100%. Absolutely makes sense.
Yeah, I literally shut like the Wi-Fi off on my phone. I put it on DND.
You needed a minute after that.
I had to stop because it's like everybody, like they're going, like whoever they may be. This shit is nuts. Like, you coming for people that I would never see you coming for.
Yeah, it's hey man. The reality is that you never really know until you know. And
it's probably because he was trying to buy NBC, but whatever.
You know, every time something happens, other black people put something out. Well, you know, he was about to take over the such and such, and he was in line to be the next such and such.
Yo, you know,
make some shit up.
You know, it's another funny thing when niggas say somebody was trying to buy something, was trying to buy BET. You know, BET owned by Viacom, so BET really white. You know, they like we knew that it wasn't nobody ever trying to buy BET.
Yeah, nobody cares. Yeah,
like niggas really don't watch BET. It's cool.
No,
if you're black and you feel like BET is a heavy investment for black culture, then you wow.
Yeah.
Like, if you really believe that that's what BET is there for, like, man, listen, they be trying to trick us over at BET. Like, bro, BET is trash, and it always has been. Like,
yeah.
Like,
it was less trash at one point. You know what I mean? It was less.
When Donnie Simpson and them was on there, it was not this bad.
Like, I do not know who that is.
Exactly. That's my point. That's how long BET is fucked up. That's exactly my point. Wow. You don't even know good BET. Like, Tigger was like towards the end of good BET. Like, he was right there at the precipice before the bullshit. Everything post Tigger is done. Like,
with QP. Yeah. Nah, there was a quick second. It was a quick second when there was like, and remember that threshold? Oh, Tigger might come back. So we just got these celebrities doing these interviews. Like, those was cool. Those was all right. Like when Kanye was in there,
the writing was on the wall after that, though, bro. Because they was grasping their straws at that point. Yeah, like, I wasn't even a huge 106 & Park fan, but that kept it going for a minute. But like, after the basement ended, it was a wrap over there for me. Like, I couldn't do nothing else they was dealing with.
Yeah,
it was crazy. See, Matt's gonna mention another old nigga that you don't know, Byron Allen. Byron Allen got money too. Like, Byron Allen, as far as in production and producing and studio work over there, he one of them guys. He been in all them rooms, but niggas don't really know him because he always had that nut ass show that came on like 2:00 in the morning on Saturdays where he was just interviewing random people and shit. And if you
I think that's because he could, like, he had the bread, so he was like, I don't really want to be on here. Like,
he ain't want to be behind the scenes.
That was like some hits from the streets type shit, like the original type.
So like, you know when I used to see Byron Allen on some real shit, if I go out like on a Friday night or a Saturday night drinking and shit and come in late and just stumble in the joint and cut the TV on and it's just a brother randomly interviewing William Shatner on NBC like for no reason at all, I'm like, damn, who's this black boy? But then when the credits roll at the joint, it'd be like, produced by Byron Allen, created by Byron Allen. I'm like,
right.
Like, his credits is crazy. Like, when you read his credits is crazy.
Okay, so now we're on the subject of like productions, right? Can we talk about this Orlando Brown shit, bro? Because
we can get right there. Yep.
Okay, all right. So
no, we'll do that, and then I'll do my hot take. Because like I said, my hot take rolling.
Oh, my fault. I didn't even realize you got the hot take.
No, it's cool. It's perfect. We can do that because I do want to talk about that. Because what the fuck, I saw you on a post earlier, kind of explaining something that I didn't know. So let me frame it first. Orlando Brown, formerly of some show on Disney. I don't fucking know.
That's so weird, man. I mean, come on, bro. Give him his credits, bro. He got some credits. Major Payne. Come on, dog. He got some credits, dog.
When he was 3J on Family
Matters.
$1 million kickoff.
Oh, Major Payne might be his best joint.
Yeah, for sure.
He's that. I'm gonna
say I look like him. I used to get so mad.
So Orlando Brown of Major Payne fame. That's where we'll go. Orlando Brown of Major Payne fame, and among other things, he I don't know the context. I'll let Hood give you, but basically he said out loud that Shad, as we call him around here, because I just be having a problem calling a grown ass man Bow Wow. But Shad Moss, aka Bow Wow, this brother Orlando Brown said Bow Wow had some good pussy. That's a quote. That was
true, bro. It might be true.
Now, I don't know nothing about Bow Wow or what his snatch is like.
Nothing about it yet. His anatomy, nothing.
You ain't never seen Lil Mama, Bow Wow, or Aaron Hernandez baby mom in the same place ever in life. He might be on to something.
My nigga, frame where it came from, please.
Oh, nah. I mean, I don't know where it came from. I'm just saying,
this is kind of how you was explaining like his platform and shit. Like,
okay,
when
so
you said like he does like a Between the Ferns kind of thing, like the same way.
Nigga, I was just speaking to what I gathered. Like, I mean,
okay.
So all right. So look,
you had a better grasp of it than I did, so I wanted you to give me that. So shit, you opened my eyes, guy.
So my thing is this: I've seen Buddy, the other boy in the chair, conduct an interview. Right? I've seen him in these malls, fake farting on people and interviewing people all on a scale from 1 to 10. Like, how much you think I could beat your ass? Like, I've seen him do these things on the streets. Like, I've seen that. Right?
Oh, okay.
So nothing in me tells me that this interview is serious.
Right.
But I also wanted, and the thing that I was trying to be clear about is I think that it was supposed to be like, joke's on you, like to catch you off your rocker. Or I just think Orlando Brown is just he's not on his rocker. 2, he's just a clown anyway. He knows he's saying stuff to get, that's his stream of revenue.
Right.
So putting 2 and 2 together, like y'all fell smooth into both men's trap. Fucking Honey in a damn trap. Y'all fell like they got it's like honestly, it's like they got everybody but me. Like I don't know a single person that was like, oh yeah, this is clearly a joke. Because how is the camera? All right, ready, set, boom, producer is talking to him. All right, ready, set, boom, they talking back. Like, you know what I mean? Like every single time the producer says something, boom, like he in focus everything. It's not even like they swing the camera like on The Office. You know what I mean? Like, and then of course you're gonna have the moments where he's screaming from off camera.
Right.
Like that. I mean, I'm not saying it was a setup. I think that was a mutual. It was a mutual. It was like a Floyd Mayweather fight. Like, let me go in here and get this bag real quick and just get my shit punched around for 12 rounds. Like, I know I ain't gonna get knocked out.
But
you know
we both gonna eat a little bit after this.
Yeah,
though, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna eat these zaps. Zap. I'm gonna eat them. It's only gonna be like 19 per round. Cool. Ain't nobody trying to take my head off. And I'm gonna touch a bag. So that's what it felt like to me. It felt like let me let them do what they do. I'm gonna try and not push them out of because a lot of it looked like it was a lot of times where he's like, all right, yeah, but this is part of the. Hold on, wait, is this going left now? Like, are we done? Like, it, you know what I mean?
Wait,
like,
though, right? So you think it's a him and Bow Wow, like both kind of?
Oh no, not Bow Wow.
They're just the bull. Okay,
Bow Wow got hit by a stray bullet. That shit came through the window.
Chad was tight as hell. He ain't like that shit at all.
Knocked his motherfucking muffin cap back. Yeah, he's a casualty of war. I'm talking about the funny.
All right. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure it was clear. I didn't want somebody to think you were saying otherwise.
They brought up he's slicking and slotting stream of consciousness wordplay and feeding him content to get information. He just pop boom Bow Wow because that's something funny. Bow Wow could possibly say something like that's a lob, and he fucking dunked that shit. Like they ran off of that shit looking like D Wade and LeBron. And y'all niggas looking like spectators, like y'all can't believe it. Everybody thought this was like, the drugs. No, this was smart. This was like some of the most. This is like, Kris Jenner. Finally, we got one. Like, finally,
you know what?
Because Chris be getting y'all, bro.
I'll accept that though. Because I be thinking that sometimes when I hear certain people say certain shit, I'm like, they just want us to know they're still talking.
Yeah,
people are saying things sometimes just so you don't forget them. Like, not because they mean it, not because they believe it. It's I really truly believe it's like in pop culture, the Kardashians kind of started it. I believe in like the sports world, Skip Bayless was the first person to start it. And like in like rap and shit, as much as I hate him, Game started that shit. Like he just say dumb.
Absolutely.
He just say shit. Like, bro, I'm gonna just say this. And if it stick to the wall on niggas, fuck it. And if not,
the ultimate troll, fuck it.
And the thing is, Do I believe because niggas will have this take and it'd be like, oh yeah, not because he not even on. I think the nigga's still on drugs and shit. I think he's still fucked up. Yeah, he had them Commodore Jordans. I don't know what the fuck them shits was. He had them doofy ass Jordans on that thing. But there's times in that video where they be like, oh, Orlando Brown, why are you here? And then he was like, oh, because I'm the guy that says stuff. Like I get headlines. Like, yeah, he had those responses.
He's telling you exactly what he's doing.
Yeah. Right. So I'm like, how did y'all not see this is? Right. And then Shad Moss, oh, this is a moment. This could be a because his response was corny. He literally could have just retweeted this. This is hilarious. Y'all niggas wild. Boom. That would have been it. And that still would have been that's double XL would have still sent an alert to your phone right now. It would have been like Shad Moss responds to Orlando Brown saying that he got a good pussy. Like he would have still got that same level of press.
Facts. No, you're not wrong.
But he took his time and was like, oh yeah, I'm just a nigga that's over here writing movies and feeding niggas in Africa and taking care of my grandma. Like he got into that this is what I'm doing bag because he knew all eyes on. He took kind of like the less humble way the less humble approach. Right. All of that shit was orchestrated in their own arena, and then they all just had happened. The dominoes fell into place, and they got everybody.
No, I you know what? I'm gonna let that be my thought process as well.
I love
everything else is too much for me. I can't believe that he believed that, man. Bow Wow got some good pussy is a wild fucking
that is the perfect state. Like
that is a wild ass sentence.
So every time now go back on my Facebook and look, every time I've posted anything or on my story that has to do with this situation, I keep saying felt like I feel that. Like it's not about the statement, like y'all niggas just won. Like that is a win. Because this is going to be an Uncle Murda's wrap up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whoever does a wrap up this year, this is going to be on there.
Yeah, we're going to talk. This is going to be a line about Orlando Brown for no reason, saying Bow Wow had good pussy. Which every time I say it, it's just like that grown man said another grown man had quality vagina.
I can even hear it in your tone as you say it. You dip a little, like that Bow Wow has some good pussy. Yeah, like it's hard. It's a hard thing to say, but it came out, and I'm with Hood. Like it's a fucking game. Like now, Orlando Brown is going to be viral enough to go on to the next thing.
Yep, and people will listen to it.
Yeah, and be maybe even more bizarre than this.
Right. And if he take it up a notch from here, nobody's gonna care.
Yeah. Right. He earned even all his accolades and stuff from the past. None of that means shit to right now. Like he's hot right now because he said this thing that I bear repeating. He said this thing.
I'm not saying that shit no more. I mean it.
Yeah. Because it's difficult to say without getting a mental for me.
He said it unprovoked. Like it wasn't even like that. He said that on the return. Like it wasn't even like he said like, oh, like I'm gonna say this for I'm gonna put this together. Oh, boom, I got one. This is gonna be a clickbait. Clickbait. Like bruh said Bow Wow. Something about Bow. What he said. What's your issue with Bow Wow? I don't got an issue with Bow Wow. Bow Wow got some good pussy. Like that he didn't. If you gotta watch the whole, you can't just watch that clip. The whole video is like 9 minutes, 12 minutes, something like that. Watch the whole video.
I'm not watching this.
I'm not watching.
No, bro.
I'm never getting that.
No. I'm saying that if for people who don't understand and they're trying to judge that whole piece, you have to see how this is a production. How to get to that point in the conversation was natural,
right?
So that's why I say it was planned in this corner for whatever their self-interest is. Planned in this corner for whatever their self-interest is. And that shit just like the perfect fucking spark. Like the forest fires happen for a reason. Don't nobody even like California.
Facts. Literally Anything podcast for the people. Okay, real quick. So my hot take is gonna spill into an actual other subject that I kind of want to discuss based on some things that happened over the week. Not sure if y'all heard about the Funk Flex versus Conway thing. Conway the Machine, my guy.
That nigga don't like nobody, bro. Like, we talk about Freddie Gibbs being a problem. That nigga don't like nobody.
Right.
So here's the thing, though, right? I hate when people have arguments online and they only take a portion of what somebody said and make that their whole argument, as if the portion of what was said isn't immediately contradicted by the person who you got it from.
Right.
Like,
right.
So, Conway said this about Flex, and not just Flex, but other. But
just
he specifically named Flex, but he named a certain genre of people. Basically, he said in New York there are gatekeeper DJs who have control of the airwaves and who do not give new artists who they don't fuck with the proper. The Conway face is killing me. They do not give the proper artists. They do not give artists the proper look unless they have like a certain allegiance or alliance to them based on studios and stations and all that shit. Now, he said that and then immediately after said, I don't need that shit because I'm okay.
Yeah.
But it's fucked up for the artists who need it.
Yeah.
Flex went to the dude. First off, I hate Flex. I just want to be clear on that. I've said that on these airways before. Hood don't agree with me. He fuck with that's you. Well, let me not say you don't agree with me, but you don't have the same feeling I have as far as hating it.
Well, clearly, I hate Flex too. You know what I mean? Because he's a gatekeeper, and I hate him because I'm good because JD co-signed me.
This is crazy.
I'm good.
Oh, nigga, wrong bitch. Now I'm gonna say
wrong
bitch.
No, that's
wrong
bitch.
bitch.
I know in this room somebody was defending Flex before.
No, I hate Flex. I hate Flex. He's
a big guy. But either way, Flex took to his Instagram or Twitter or whatever it was and kind of basically was on his shit like, nigga, if you don't need it, like, no, he said, if you was hot, I would play you this and that. Like, and he made the argument about about Conway being old. Nigga, you're older than him. So let's go there. let's stop right there. But he kind of turned the argument into an argument that it wasn't, and the niggas got on the post and was like, yeah, Flex, tell him. And I'm like, what did he tell him? Like, he didn't say anything. Like, he literally did not rebut the argument that he made, except for to say that I don't play you, nigga, because you corny and you old.
Which I think Flex was just like us on the receiving end with that, where he just got this much of that.
Right.
You know, and I'm sure all his people kind of was, forwarding different stuff to him and texting him like, hey, Flex. Like, and he was like, no, because Like, I don't think he got that whole thing.
And you know what? You could absolutely be right about that. But I guess that gets me to my next point and what my issue is, right? I don't like a dick-eating ass old head, right? It bothers me. And that, like, Flex is a dick-eating ass old head. Like, and I say that in this way, right? I know my niggas don't care. Like, niggas who's, like, in their early 40s, mid-40s, late 40s, niggas in that age range, they don't give a fuck about what you think about their musical opinion. They like what they like, and they gonna rock with who they rock with all the time. 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be what they grew up with, and that's just where their allegiances are gonna lie. I'm not saying that people that age don't fuck with the new shit, because I fuck with everything.
Bro, you seen that? You seen that Middle Eastern fella with the blue contacts in that room, and he be punching for like only New York hip hop, like only New York, only
right.
Like anytime some like when you ever see the other video of Method Man doing that rap in the movie theater or whatever, he was Papa Zandy or whatever. So then he in there rapping. Somebody posted that in that room. He like, yeah, I ain't never heard nobody from the South rap like this. I'm like, bro, you are from Kuwait. Like, you're from Kuwait.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, dudes 40 and up who enjoy hip hop are very stuck in that whatever space they feel was the golden age and the greatest point. That's where they are. they might fuck some. Like you might find somebody like me, who I listen to everything.
Everything, yeah.
Like I listen to everything. You gonna get everything in a playlist from me, from Tupac, the 21 Savage, the Dirt.
21 Pilots.
My shit is all over the place. What, nigga?
I said 21 Pilots.
Yeah. Anyway, but I'm the exception to that rule for the most part. Most niggas ain't doing that. Flex don't really like all that shit he be up there plugging.
Right.
Flex don't like that shit.
Flex is a fucking
vampire.
He's a vulture where he's trying to stay in the conversation now.
Right.
And he
because
plays...
you 50 something, nigga. The same thing you tried to clown the other nigga for is the reason why you a dick eater.
And when people do that, it's usually like a reflection of them. It's like, I'm saying this because somebody probably saying it to me or saying it about me. So now I'm gonna use this against you because it hurt me so bad. Right. That's what I felt from Flex.
It's like I see me.
And you did, it's deflection in a way. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you old nigga, and that Flex, you're an old nigga too.
Yeah, you're old.
Like, you're an older nigga.
Yeah, you ever see somebody fat, like you fat ass nigga, like
yeah, like
my man.
You're fat too. We both,
man. Like,
I stay calling people fat all the time. I stay calling people fat.
I'm guilty of that as well. It happens.
Yes. But
it feels like being a kid from the 1900s. It feels good just calling somebody fat and loving it.
Right.
No,
your spirit
that's all
forever lies in the 1900s. So the wildest concept to me, honestly, is like thinking of niggas who've been to jail for a long time, got out of jail, and then now like how like their neighborhood is different. The world, like even 5-7, you do 5-7 years, world's different. Like that mindset, right? So saying all that to say, I don't even remember where the fuck I was going with it, bro.
Come on, hood. This is the second time, man.
Bro, I got baby mama issues.
First off, we're not doing that here.
No. Wait. I think I remember where I was going. It had to do with like gentrification. That's what were we talking about right before that?
Yo, bro.
We were talking about
I thought we was talking about flex and flex niggas and flex.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember. So now I remember. I remember.
I was in my head praying that.
Go ahead, bro.
So
get your shit off before you forget again.
Remember how like Hot 97 used to be? The funny thing is like it's not even that worth it. Like to go through all of this, what it is not. It's not worth it like at all.
It's a long way to the punchline. I see. Yeah. Yes. All right.
So remember,
setup is crazy.
Hot 97 used to be like the mecca for hip hop. Like unapologetically anti-establishment with no payola, no this, no that.
Right.
To a point, if we're looking at the two as far as hip hop is concerned, them in Power 105.
Right.
They're the less commercial, the less payola, the less all of that. And also less respected on top of everything else. Power 105 does all of that shit, like all of this way. And like and I'm thinking of niggas that get out of jail and it's like, oh, you're Hot 97. And they would see Hot 97 is doing it the right way. They even like fired Ebro, gave him a demotion because he was into some of that goofy shit. Right. They're still doing it the right way. Just the personalities over there are cornballs.
I mean, but the other thing you got to think of is that the way they do
right.
it.
That was not worth it. That wasn't.
The way they do it now was very different. No,
the connection. The connection. No, the connection. The connection.
Holy shit,
the connection of it
done.
is.
What the fuck?
Yeah, the connection of it is. It's still not worth it. It's still not worth it. The connection to like going to jail and then like going to prison, coming home and like shit is different. People being like, imagine going to prison and like being aware of what these two entities are. Understanding like, oh, this is the real shit. This is like the glitz and glamour, the pretty shit. This is like Empire. This is like The Wire, right? And coming home and people like flocking to this with it in your face, the payola, they're taking money, the bias, all of that stuff.
And they don't
the gentrification of hip hop to the point where the real shit's not respected, and you got cornballs running real shit, and that's why people don't respect what you like this entity, like this building. Let's say.
But I agree with that, right? But I'm gonna tell you what the problem is with that is that the way we consume music is very different from when those two entities were at their peak. We don't consume music the same. You don't need the radio to be successful. There are way too many artists out here that are prime examples of being successful, continuously dropping projects who you've probably never heard their voice on the radio. Currency is one of the first people I could think of with that. He don't get no push from no radio station.
What's the boy that look like Uncle Ben? He big too.
Big Crit?
No, the one that look like Uncle Ben with the big ass forehead.
Tobe and the Wigway?
No. Is it another? Toby's dope.
Toby's starting to cross over though. Toby's not cross over like with his, but like they starting to know where Toby at now.
Yeah, right. God damn it. He All right, y'all go ahead because I can't remember.
Yeah, let it come naturally. Don't worry about it. It'll happen. You'll think of it. But no, I say all that to say that we consume music so differently that I think
Yo Gotti.
Who?
Yo Gotti.
Gotti. But Gotti actually does get radio play though.
Now, but
when he started,
Gotti's been hot since 2004.
Right.
Let's keep it being. Gotti
been on the radio since like
2014.
15, like he been on radio for a while.
No way. Gotti been on the radio since I was like in college.
And what's that?
Like 2015, 16, like
I just said 15.
You just said that.
Oh, I think you said 04.
That's literally I said he been on the radio since 15, 16. Yeah, no, they Gotti been getting a little bit of push since then, but it's you don't need the so like what Conway said was kind of an irrelevant statement in that you don't really need the New York DJ push no more. Like it's going to happen if it's going to happen. If you putting the music out and you on your grind with the distribution, not that the push don't help, because anybody can use a radio push. I don't give a fuck who you is.
Right. So now think of the reach of a Hot 97, okay, and think of a reach of a Power 105.1, the most nationally syndicated radio in radio, like period, right? Like they took it to they're the Kevin Hart of radio. Like as corny as it is, they took that shit to a new level. And that's like the standard now. Right. So imagine being like a Benny, Westside, all them niggas is old for real, right? And rap,
especially in rap, yeah.
So them niggas is old. Imagine coming home being the nigga that really want to rap, you nice, this and that, and then what you know, the thing that you should cater to, the thing that you want to cater to, that you probably need to, isn't the way to go. So you got to navigate here, this fuck shit, this. Yeah, it's some real niggas in there, but to get to them, it's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah. No, it's different.
So imagine having to play that game and like think
about it like this, right? All right, let me ask you this: if I told you that you could go on one platform and freestyle, if I gave you two choices and I said you only could pick one, you got your hottest 16, 24, 32, whatever you gonna spit. And I told you could go on Flex, or I told you could go on Bars on I-95. Now, Bars on I-95 is a much smaller publication, but I
would have so much more fun on Bars on. Exactly. I would, but it's niggas that would not do.
But like, the majority of people would say I'm going on Flex.
Yeah.
But if you look at
it's so much more fun on Bars on I-95.
If you look at the quality of the freestyles consistently on Bars on I-95 and the quality of the freestyles consistently on Hot 97, particularly in the last 2 years, nobody has killed Flex in years. Flex had a run where niggas was going on Flex and going wow,
bombing his shit,
like really, really cooking niggas. Like shit. So it was. Oh God! Why are you so gay?
Yo, I said that with so much confidence. Like I looked myself in the eyes. I said that with so much confidence. Bombing his shit. Yo, you ever see the first episode of It's Always Sunny? The gang goes gay.
I have not.
Oh, no, never mind. Y'all got to watch it. It's the first episode of It's Always Sunny.
I watch. Not that I don't watch that show. I just don't. I'm pretty sure I have not seen the first.
Watch the first episode. It's hilarious, dog.
Oh, so to circle back to the point, Flex had a stretch, and I think it kind of ended when Black Thought
That's
came
the word
there.
that you chose to go with. Stretch. Come on, bro. You did
now
that.
You're just looking for shit. Let it go, bro. It's
I'm
okay.
looking for shit. Stretch. Bomb his shit. That's fucking wild. This nigga just don't stop. And then they look at it like it's me. I gotta deal with the family.
It is.
Comment.
It's absolutely you.
Is Denzor gay?
You've been gobbling and crushing all day, bro. That's just the biggest shit ever.
You said crushing? That is disgusting.
What'd you say? Oh, gobbling and bombing. I'm sorry. You didn't say crush. You said bomb. That's even worse than a crush.
Oh,
that's
gobbling. Yeah, gobbling was because the funniest thing is I remember the first time hearing WAP and hearing Meg say them things that she said. I remember I was dying. I didn't think that shit was sexy at all.
No.
Hey, bitch, if you don't get off them church pews saying that filth.
Phil Foreign filth.
Saying that motherfucker. Why was he like a preacher lady singing that nasty shit? I was laughing so hard the first time. Like, why didn't you say it like that?
Oh man. All right. So we go. We going that shit. Move on from the Flex topic. Flex is a cornball though. That's really the bottom line.
Yo, does anybody know where his name came? Like I'm saying, like Funk Master Flex.
That's the type of names.
Wow, that's a '90s thing. Yeah,
niggas named themselves weird shit like that back then.
Funk Master, that is fucking hilarious.
You sound like a fucking vacuum, right?
I have no idea.
The Funk Master Flex 2000.
Like, it definitely feels like there should be a number at the end of his shit. Like,
his name sound like one of them things. Yeah, like an Audi product that you could use in regular conversation. Like there was a drawing, like they were called Stay Fresh cheese bags. Like you put cheese in them. So the niggas like Stay Fresh cheese bags, like shit like that. Like Funkmaster Flex sound like you can use that. And
the snapping point fucked it up. You see it?
The Kevin Hart snapping point sold that. That definitely sold us. Stay Fresh cheese bags.
I like that. All right, so unfortunately, as the world goes sometimes, although we like to come here and usually be, jokey and have fun and shit, as we have up to this point, it be serious shit happening out here. And sometimes we gotta have conversations about those serious things.
I do not want to talk about nothing serious right now.
Yeah, that's not. I can't go off of that, bro. I gotta go where shit is at. And you'll be able to still be you within the flow of this conversation, bro. So it ain't that deep. But if you are from the Philadelphia area, a lot of what has ruled the internets and the apps and all that over the last week has been the story about these teens who were out at 2:30 in the morning, attacked this 73-year-old man and murdered him. In the last few days, there have been charges brought about to a 14-year-old young lady and a 14-year-old young man. There was some questioning of some of the other kids there, but only these two have been charged thus far. So for me, right, as I look around, I see a lot of different opinions on this whole thing. And I see a lot of people saying dumb shit. Let's be clear on that. Some of y'all don't need phones. Really, just like put your phone down and shut the fuck up, because you're just saying shit because you can. Just because your opinion does not mean it's meant to be shared. And that's coming from a place of love. That's not like I care about y'all. I want y'all to shut the fuck up. Get off of the phone. Put it down. Go do something else. Read a book.
It's coming from a place of disdain from me. Stop it.
Yeah, no, I get it. As long as they heed the warning, we gave it to them the way it needed to be given, however it was. So for me, it's 4 parts to it, and these are the 4 parts I heard people talk about the most. Obviously, everything starts at the top. Everybody's like, "Oh, it's the parents' fault." That's the first thing everybody said. of course, you could put some blame on the parents. Some people, when speaking to a greater problem, not just this. Yeah, how about that? Yeah, and that's just crazy. I used to work in that neighborhood, by the way. Like, I just want that to be clear too. 22nd and North, like that's where I really got all my stripes as far as everything I do. I was on them blocks for a lot of years at Douglas, helping them kids navigate a lot of different things.
That's where Douglas at. I know exactly where that at.
Yeah, it's 22nd and North, right there. But some people in the grander scale of things are saying it's a community problem. The community isn't the same community, and we don't nurture kids the same way. We don't build community and neighborhoods in the same way we used to. Some people are saying it's the schools. Some people are saying there's not enough education. There's not enough involvement. It's to the community. Another thing people are saying there aren't places for these kids to go, such as community centers, rec centers.
Who the fuck going to a rec center at 2:30?
Now wait a minute, Rob. You're not saying that wrong, bro. I'm putting all these things out there.
I'm sorry.
So that we can dissect them once. You're absolutely right, though. There was no rec center that would have been open for these kids at 2:30 in the morning, especially when the little heifer was running around with no shoes on her feet. Anyway, but
it was like the rec center let out. Like, what
yeah,
what the fuck? What do we do? All right, I'm done.
Yo, niggas love to rationalize they bullshit too. Like especially just one day look at one of my posts when I'm trolling, because niggas always like to rationalize bullshit where they like, oh well, you know what? Because if they was at the rec center during the day, maybe they would have been tired at nighttime and they would have been in the house. Like, nigga, like that's not did nobody.
Have you ever met little ghetto children in the summer, sir?
Yo, they need 2 hours of sleep at that.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, nigga, I was a North Philly kid. North Philly kids don't get tired.
No.
Kevin Gates at all times.
This couch behind me is the couch that I had on my porch in North Philly where we used to stay up until 4 or 5 in the morning. Like, the same type of couch.
This all you niggas put couches on their porch in North Philly because they plan on being out there a lot.
Outside.
That is like niggas will turn down a whole real estate investment behind the goddamn porch.
Like
that other joint though.
Exactly, real shit.
Square footage. Like it's some pavers out there. Niggas love my
this couch for that reason, because it reminds me of those times where I could just be myself in North Philadelphia. That's why I chose this fucking couch.
It's nothing like a North Philly kid in the summertime. They know how to get into some shit. Now, and the other part where I heard a lot of people saying is, if it's 2:30 in the morning, it's a high crime neighborhood. It's the thing where all these shootings are taking place. Why isn't there more police presence in that neighborhood? That's another argument that I heard. Now, I will say this. I think in each argument, there is some validity. People are taking it too far because, again, we like to grandstand and be that, that way when everybody got a platform. But I think and we'll go one by one because I don't want to skirt over no points with it. So I'll start at the top with the parents. I did a lot of goofy shit that my parents never knew I did.
Right.
Let me just say, real shit. I did a lot of goofy shit that my very good, very loving, very involved parents had no fucking clue that I was into. So let's not do that. So to a certain degree, yes.
And you turned out on nobody's YouTube, nobody's news, nobody's none of that, right?
Right.
So put that in perspective.
But I will also say that I grew up in a very different era.
Facts.
It was not the same. What's happening in them streets now is not what was happening in them streets when I was out there. So it has some comparisons, but there are certainly some contrasts as well. But there's not an adult our age who let their mom and dad know everything they got away with. Like my dad passed away with a lot of shit he was not informed of, and I wasn't never telling him.
Oh no.
Mind you, and my dad was cool. I was doing shit that niggas in my age was not doing at 14, 15 years old. Like, as far as, like, he was letting me get away with certain shit, but he definitely was not in the clear on a lot of things. Yeah. So, okay, let's ease up on the parents. Let's just assume that the parents thought that they knew where their children were at that point, right?
Because some of the parents turn the kids in, correct?
Right. For the 10-year-old, yes. Yeah. She got a lawyer, and her and her lawyer accompanied her child to this place, and they only questioned him and released him. He was not charged.
Yeah.
In that particular case. Now, from what I understand, based on what the lawyers are saying, that the kids were spending the night at another person's house, and they congregated in a group. They was all just sitting outside of the house and kind of, got away from whatever the central location was, whatever. Now here's the thing. Even if we would have been out at that time of night, we wouldn't have never beat up no old man. Like, and I can say that with full confidence. I'm talking about for me and my guys, like the way we might have been out there at 2:30 in the morning. We definitely wasn't doing that shit. That's weird. You know what we got in trouble for at 2:30 in the morning? Sneaking into the pool and going swimming and getting locked up and sitting there fucking 50 at Pine Street until our parents came and got us cold, sitting in the back of the john because we was wet and they didn't give a fuck. Like, that was the kind of shit we got into. We wasn't beating up no old man. We was sneaking. We was trespassing. Like,
I'm not on no SpongeBob. Like, what do we tell you, old man? Like, we was not like out here knocking old niggas out. But like, let's say if we somewhere, being niggas, like being like, nigga indoor volume, outside, you know what I mean? That sounds like a real outside voice. And it's 6 niggas. If somebody say something, oh, shut the fuck up. And then somebody want to stand tall and then they violate, like, we weren't beyond one of us knocking the old nigga out. But I mean, of course it was,
so you mean tell me if your squad's out 2:30 in the morning doing shit,
we not going jumping.
Go here walking down the street with his cane and like, why y'all out here 2:30 in the morning? Y'all
with a cane? No, with a cane. No, with a cane.
Bro had a cane.
Yeah, like, I don't know the circumstance. I don't know.
Yeah, OG was 73.
I mean, but like, I ain't gonna hold you. One time I got in a parking dispute with a neighbor. I was really about to fuck buddy up and then I'm so thankful that I didn't. Because one day I took a real good look at that nigga and I was like, oh, it is not a dick in them pants. So like, let's say I knock Buddy the fuck out and I think he like 50. Turn out he's 73 and frail and I don't know that. And he died. Oh, yeah, on paper. Oh, yeah, why you hit a 73-year-old? But he ain't look 73 to me. I'm not saying what they did was right. None of that. I'm just saying
this is
me circumstantially.
We are not doing comparisons right now. Yes. You were simply telling a story. No, that's just be clear on that. I definitely had an old woman on my block who I would have gotten at 4 p.m. Listen, I understand. I have always said that old people have this tendency to feel as though they can do and say whatever they want above board because they have experience. And realistically, that's just not real. Like, people won't call you on the shit you say and do. But in this particular instance, I think, like I said, me and the way I was raised, I just been like, yo, y'all gotta leave old head the fuck alone. Like, he out here not bothering though. Like, we don't do that here. Like, that's just not what we do. I got old head uncles, and like I never met neither one of my grandpops, but I got great uncle. Like I got old heads in my family who would have said the same thing to me in that moment, knowing where we was at, and I would have let that shit go. And I know that I've instilled enough in my children where if they happen to be, even though they wouldn't be in that space, but if they happen to be, and that old man says something to them, they would know not say nothing to his ass. Because let me find out you said something crazy to this old man, and I'm gonna fuck you up.
we used to definitely run that risk. Like, nigga, suck my dick, nigga. Like, we used to talk disrespectful to, and you know what's worse? Like, because y'all block, like y'all square mileage is like my whole town. Right. So like we used to talk disrespectful to like people that we like. I know you know my dad.
Right.
But I'm hoping you don't notice that I'm in this game.
I know you know them rooms but I'm hoping that you let this slide.
I think Veronica just opened the door to get the DoorDash naked, and there's somebody standing there. It was somebody standing there. She opened the door naked to go get to put her arm through the door and get our DoorDash. And she went to
we didn't need to know that. I just want you to know
that was yeah.
This is a case of oversharing.
She pregnant as shit naked and just opened the door.
And he reiterates. Then he adds to it. Hey guys.
Oh no, he doubled down.
Naked.
Double fucking down. Literally Think podcast for the people. We are an hour and 16 minutes in on this wonderful Thursday evening. We are sitting here talking about the incident that happened in North Philly a couple weeks ago where I believe it was 7 kids jumped in elderly gentleman, and he unfortunately perished due to his injuries. And we are just kind of discussing some of the responsibilities and the flow of how what happened within the flow of that, but not just that, but things that can be done. What are the answers? We don't have them, but we're just trying to have a discussion based around it. I'm curious to hear what y'all got to say on the community side of it, because I think the community side is the bigger piece, because I think it's such a wide net that's cast when you say the community, because you could be talking about social work and getting these kids services if they need that. If that's the case, you could be speaking of, and that kind of crosses into the schools too. So I guess we could kind of lump them into the same flow, because some of that would come from the schools. But like, clearly there's a lack of respect for those who came before you when you would do something like that to an old head. Clearly there's some damage where you feel like that kind of shit is fun. Like, you're damaged if you're getting amusement out of that. Like, there's something to be said on some level. Like that ain't regular kid shit. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, there's a deeper discussion to be had about that. Although it was 2:30 in the morning, there is something to be said about having places for these kids to go and to be. Like, because some of these incidents happen at 3:00 in the afternoon. Let's just be real about it. It's times where some of this shit is happening in the middle of the day with these kids. We got youngins who getting shot at 1:30 p.m. because they didn't go to school and they don't got nowhere else to go and do it. Like, so while this happened when it happened, we're not gonna act like this don't happen 24/7. Any time is a time where it could jump off in that way. I'm just curious to know, what do you think the role of the community is? Another thing we don't have that we used to have when I was young. Any of the OGs on my block could check me. Any of them. Because they had that relationship with my parents in the flow of, your son was out here doing this, and I said something to him. And let me say some pop fly shit, and that's going to be the end of me when I get back to my crib. We don't do that no more.
The crazy part about that was that the old head could be adding to that story. Like, he could be saying any other thing along with what you was actually doing, and we didn't disrespect that.
Right.
We didn't. He could have said, yeah, and I saw him tickling like this monkey too, and you just was like, you had to take shit up.
But you like,
because you was out there when you wasn't supposed to be, so you had
all
to
right,
eat
Mr.
that.
Jones, I'm gonna let it slide.
Right.
Yeah. No, you're right.
So, but it was a level of respect that we had for them that we were taught too.
Right.
So it kind of trickles back into the home thing as well, because at home you're taught something. Hey, when you get out in the street, you representing me. This is at least what my mom or my parents were telling me. When you out in the street, you're a representation of me. Like, you're a representation of our house. Don't do nothing crazy that you wouldn't do in here. Although I've done crazy shit outside of the house, it just never got back to the house. You know what I mean?
Because you gave enough of a fuck to make sure that the shit you did stayed wherever you was
at. Right.
Yes.
So
sir.
It all of it, like all the points, the 4 big points that you brought up, like community, school, parents. I'm forgetting the other point, but they all bleed into each other.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely all bleed into each other, and I mean, again, like Hood was saying, and like you were saying, Kevin, it was a totally different time back then.
Right. To your point though, how they bleed into each other, I don't even think. Like, I could distinctly remember, and I won't get y'all all into my business of the shit I used to do when I used to do it, but I wasn't always an above-the-board earner. I did outrageous shit to earn money sometimes, and shit that I shouldn't have been doing, and so on and so forth. The community is even policed different than it used to be. Like, it was a...
No, they're not.
Wow. Room, nigga. It was wild. Yeah.
What you saying, nigga? Yeah. Fuck out of here.
I used to know the cops in my neighborhood. Like they patrolled that much and was around that much that you knew them niggas. You might not have fucked with them. You ain't
but you knew them.
They wasn't cool, but you knew their faces. And if you had enough of the right interactions, you knew their name.
Most of the cops,
what they would do, the shit they would let you get away with, how serious they was when they said certain shit, because they were present. They don't have that no more. These young boys don't know when the cops in the area no more. They don't police the same.
No. And the community is not the same. It's all dissected where we have people who don't want to get into shit over somebody else's kid because they don't know these parents. They don't know their neighbors and shit. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, little whoever is over there wilding, I ain't gonna say nothing to him because that ain't my problem.
Yeah, or because if I say something to him, I know his ignorant ass mom gonna come out here and cuss me out, despite the fact that he wrong. She gonna come out here with some Ugg slippers and a bonnet and tell me I ain't shit. And then
long ass titties, long titties.
Would you say it? Say it again.
Fuck, them titties is so fucking long, bro. Like them look like them piercings look like goddamn fishing weights, like fish weights hanging out the bottom right there.
That nigga said with some long ass titties. That's
just got some Darcy blows too.
Yo, but no, seriously, like
and that's what happens. The community is dissected the way it, not only because of the titties, but the community is dissected the way that it is. Because we don't want to get involved with somebody else's fucking problem.
I look at it from
was different.
I look at it from somewhat of a different perspective. So with the viewpoint of policing is different now than it was. Policing technically has gotten better by practice. By what they teach is better. Therefore, the qualifications of those who can implement tends to get better. So, like, you're starting to see more police departments who have higher, like, college or even just like additional education standards, right? So we're starting to see more of that. But also, what we're seeing in our neighborhoods, the lack of accessibility. So these things aren't being able to be attained, so we can't police our neighborhoods. You know what I mean? We can't. A lot of us can't.
The policing also, for me, and this is just me, I've always felt like for cops to be the first link in the chain of law and order, they are the initial start point for everything. You're not in that mix until you get locked up. You got to get locked up by the police. That's where it starts, and then you get into your lawyers and your judges and all of that. They've always been held to the minimum threshold as far as preparation. You do not have to have a law degree to be a police officer. You don't have to have a law degree to be a police officer, but every single faction of the law after that requires you to have a law degree. Why? If they are the first defense, are they the least trained and prepared? So, I mean, to be honest, we're ice skating uphill right from the beginning, right from the rip. The moment you send them out the academy and tell them they know the law after 8 weeks, you gave them the wrong impression from the rip because they don't know shit. They don't know shit after 8 weeks. Like, and that's not a slight.
So hold on, but also
that's just what it is.
Speaking to the point of policing of when we were younger to now, there's no more 8-week academies. Policing has gotten better on paper. We got 9-month academies. They are learning all of the procedural things. They're not learning the culture. Right. They're not learning because they throwing these antibodies at any neighborhood.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
And you're learning culture from a person who just made it long enough to be there to understand the flow.
Facts.
They don't know the culture, they know the flow. They understand how the culture moves.
Right.
It's not a black thing, not a white thing, none of that. You just not from that area. Right. Even me, I don't approach working in Philadelphia how I was when I was working in Egg Harbor City. My approach was way different because I'm really from there.
Right.
In Philly, I know the flow. I have a very good concept of the flow.
And you can stay in the pocket of that and still be as effective as yourself.
Exactly, and be successful. Because I'm sure both of y'all know police officers that didn't necessarily stand above the bullshit, but they weren't dickheads. Like, if they fucked you up, you probably deserved it. They wasn't dropping you off in a shitty neighborhood. You know what I mean? Like,
listen, I'm gonna tell you.
They gave you what you gave them.
I'm gonna tell you a story, right? We had this one boy, Campbell, and Campbell hated people on the corners. If he was patrolling, he didn't like a lot of corner like action. Like, you couldn't be out there. You could be on your steps, you could be on your porch, but if it was like more than a few of y'all on the corner, it wasn't going to work.
Right.
So Campbell one day had a new boy with him, rookie. Campbell come around on God. It's like 19 of us on the corner. We know damn well this shit about to get filthy as soon as he pull up. We like, oh shit, here come Campbell. Campbell pull up. He said, I got the new guy with me, and he ready to chase one of y'all. When I come back, I need this shit cleared out. And you don't know how long I'm going to take. Now, on the surface, that might seem like some real dickhead shit. But to us, that was a lookout. Like, listen, because let me tell you how that worked on that day.
Right.
The man who shall remain unnamed was like, man, I'm tired of this nigga. I'm not fucking moving. I said, yo, the day ain't the day. You see that young white man he got in that seat with him?
That day was hot, wasn't it?
Shit. He was really ready to chase you, bro. He's 3 days out the academy, and he think he about to save the fucking world.
Yes.
Get off of this corner. I'm not going to sit here and keep talking to you, though. I'm going to just go. I say about 17 of the 19 of us leave the corner. My two homies who stayed, we ain't see them niggas for a few months. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like,
right. But he told y'all. Campbell told y'all.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That's a fact.
How the fuck can you be mad? And he very clearly told you, I got some shit on my mind. I'm about to let it off. If you out here when I come back, it's going to be a problem. Or say less.
Or
see you later.
It could be a simple listen. This what pays me in mine. I gotta do my job.
Right.
So on the first spin, because hey, bro, how many times y'all be at work like, hey, bro, you ain't really supposed to do that.
Yo.
On the second time, and then you see that they about to see what's going on, you just knock on and like, hey, bro, I told you. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta be in here. Oh, listen, you love me. I know you do.
Like, shout out to Officer Campbell, though. He's retired. He was a good cop, man. I ain't had no problem with Campbell. I know Campbell retired by now.
He was a big nigga, wasn't he?
Yeah, no, let me tell you, Campbell had like, he was bald head boy, like brown skin.
Knew that.
Looked like all he did was curls. Like, he had a gut, but he had like all
this. Yes. So look, so I'm gonna tell you, right? I knew a dude like this. I'm gonna say his name because he's a good dude. This dude, Matt Rupp. He's a probation officer back where I used to work at. Okay. Same type of flow will fuck you up bad. Like, really will give it to you, right? But he don't really like he does like the, oh yeah, damn, like, yo, Matt got him. But what he likes even more is for people to make smart choices. So he gonna tell you using that verbal jujitsu. Listen, this is how it's gonna go. Right.
You gotta tell you exactly navigate that shit, man.
Yeah, like, and then if you it's not about being tough all the time. It's not.
But I think the young boys, like, we have an understanding, and I go through this at work because I work with high school age kids, and I tell them all the time, like, listen, I'd much rather sit at my desk and not do shit all day, but I have a job to do and I got a livelihood. You have an expectation when you come in these walls that you are going to do what needs to be done based on the way I say
things. Stop it.
Only women have walls, homo.
Homo.
Some of these walls
Yo,
is just
the instant you
wow.
said come in these walls, bro was like,
I started shaking.
I hate him so much, yo. Anyway, you have an expectation when you're in this building. Should I say that? In the building, when you're in the building, you have an expectation to be a certain way. I got my expectation from the people who I work for is to make sure you uphold your end of the bargain. I'm going to do that. And if it's a me or you thing, you getting suspended. Not because I don't fuck with you, not because you're not my young boy, but because that's just the way things got to be. You got to go. And and it's no different in the street, like with the cops and so on and so forth. I literally do that. What I just told you Campbell do to us, I do to them all the time. I walk past the bathroom, it'll be 6 young boys in the bathroom just talking. Nobody's using the bathroom. They all just standing in a circle talking. When I come back here, the bathroom need to be empty, y'all. All right. When I come back, the bathroom's the fuck empty. Like it's an understanding.
Hey.
Like
I'm gonna say it on this platform because you gonna understand it, and there's a lot of our viewers who gonna understand this.
Right.
We can't divulge this information ever. So it'd be some times where you hey, this whole joint better be shut down when I come back. Because when I come back, you go in there, nigga. I don't remember who was in here. There'd be like 3 different niggas.
Yeah, no.
Hey, I told y'all.
No,
Everybody.
I just walked in. Like, absolutely.
Nope. Go to my office. Whole time really got me. But you can't back off that hill.
I know.
So
because I already put
you
it
get
down.
a phone call. You get a phone call. You get a detention.
No, you're absolutely right. That happens a lot. Because fuck that. I said what I said.
Hey,
and that's really the end of it.
Can I say this for real? So me and my mom having a little situation at work. So basically there's someone above her who feels some type of way about her perfection at work. Oh, not everybody works like you. Not everybody works like you. That type of thing. So my mom's point of view is we work with people's lives. Like it's people's lives at stake. So I gotta be perfect. So now I'm with this whole conversation. I was like, damn, like police, like we really be asking police officers to give us batting averages at best. Like when it's people's lives at stake, we be asking them to be like, try to be Albert Pujols, right?
Yeah, we don't want you to be perfect. We just want you to be sensible, motherfucker.
So with that being said, that's why them kids are still getting in trouble, even though they didn't deserve it. Because you know what? If y'all need me to be at my best, sometimes shit gotta happen.
Yeah, I gotta shake shit up, and that's just I can respect it. So the policing is different, and the communities are different. The parents are different too, though. Like let's speak on that because we got a lot of kids having kids.
Yeah. Like
listen, man. I didn't realize how many young ass grandmoms I had going on. We had our graduation for our senior class, and I'm meeting parents, that I'm out talking to parents I already met, and they're like, "Oh yeah, let me introduce you to my mom," and I'm looking, and I'm like, "That's your mom, or is that your big sister?" Like, and then it's like, mom looked like she should be, grandma looked like she should be the mom. Like, and it's like, damn, like, does that have anything to do with it? Are we like, and that's some shit that's happening. So I gotta ask, is that part of the factor?
Rob, I'm gonna throw this to you because I know you're gonna slam dunk it. So I'm gonna take that a step further.
Okay.
While we have younger parents, their parents came from the generation of at 18 you getting put out. I don't care.
Oh,
so their parents. So my generation and your generation was taught it's okay to have kids at 16 as long as you figure it out. But they also didn't equip us with the skills to figure it out. Because at 18, I got to get the fuck out because I ain't raising no babies. Don't bring no baby in this house. Because the motherfuckers said that to you, but really did not do that to you. Because you was not asked out. You wasn't. You was not asked out.
Not at all.
So now, I know, Rob, I knew you was going to fuck with that.
No, but I agree with that though, Rob, and I'll let you take the point and I'll follow up.
Yeah, what happens with that is, like you said, is like we not they didn't follow up with that because you still was there. They still, you know, the grandma, whatever, whoever was helping with the baby, shit like that. But being as though those kids was raised with that, they're passing it down to their kids. But they really sticking the landing with that shit. And they're like, no, get the fuck out because I'm still young. You got to get the fuck on.
And you know what? I think it's a lot of that. And this speaks to the social trauma piece and just the fact that we got some parents who resent their kids because they feel like they had them and they lost their childhood. Like there are parents who feel that way. So that emotion from the rip, you already disconnected. So then when the kids start getting in trouble or making it more of a task than it already has to be just generally, now you start to push them away even further. And then they get into the goofy shit and they become one of those kids. So it really does have that sort of thing. But it's a
domino.
Like, it's so many pieces to it, man.
Can I play you some pimping? All right, so look, you know what's crazy? So think about how we detach, like how how we're taught to detach, right? Hispanic people got it down packed. They got this assembly line situation that is incredible. So I can't speak for all Hispanic people. I'm aware of Dominicans and Puerto Ricans. Like that's what I've been around my whole life, right?
Right.
So this is, and I mean, well, we've had this conversation, so I'm not going to say correct if I'm wrong, but she said that this is factual as well. So this is what I've observed as a child. Damn, your mom around, your dad around, but you not like they don't raise you. Your grandma, grandpa, like well, they raising you, but your parents are around,
are there, yeah.
But they even might out a different house, but grandma's raising you. Now, boom, when they become well age,
right?
They raise your kids, and then you get to be a kid again.
Right.
You get to finesse. You can. They got this assembly line 3-man weave. These hold on. You gonna fuck with it? I'm gonna call it a 3-generation weave. It's crazy.
I like that. No, I definitely like that.
Like worst case scenario, you have a kid young. I'm gonna show you how.
Fact.
Leave the egg to me detached for Rumspringa. You feel me?
Right.
But make sure you gotta make it back. But don't be mad. Be mad when little, you know what I mean? When little Puto is more close to me than you feel me? She mad as hell. When he attached to me and not you that much.
Right, and don't respect you like that.
Yeah, like. But then there's also like a sense of respect. There's a sense of like there's never really a sense of like, oh, you wasn't there. Like it's like that's how it's kind of supposed to go.
I mean, I always felt like to a certain degree that hierarchy works well. I'm not even like I even know like the way some white parents and families and homes do it. It's like when you 19 years old, 20 years old, living with your parents and you black, that shit is a task. They on your motherfucking head, bro. Like you got a job. I need to like they on your
end up paying rent for the room that you grew up in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're paying rent for the room you've been in since you was 4. Like nigga,
like these walls have not changed.
Like you ain't paint this, I painted this.
When the fuck did this room become worth $600 and it was free my whole fucking life? Like that's the kind of shit we do to our kids. That's absolutely real shit. Whereas you probably and I know you got one hood just because of the area you grew up in, where you got one white friend who ain't moved out of his parents' house till he was like 28, 30, and
I know
like stacks because he ain't get charged the nickel rent all time.
I know a funky dog head bitch right now, make like 70 grand a year with these nappy headed ass kids. And don't pay nothing. Nothing. No car insurance, no cell phone bill, no rent, no nails, no airing her tires, no. Oh, I said her. I'm tripping. Him. Hey, you know what? I don't know what it is. It's 2022. They can be whatever they want.
Who knows? Everybody.
Pronoun game is crazy.
But I know a funky dog headed ass bitch that make mad money, and don't pay nothing. Nothing. Not a fucking thing.
Dog-headed bitch. Damn.
Nothing, bro. Can I tell you nothing? Like nothing. Like nothing. Like I can't stress. Like there's not a bit, and like because I'll say that there was a point where I was still attached, right? With my early in college, my dad was still alive. There were some bills that he was still kind of paying because they were from when I was with him. Any new things became mine. No, nigga, the new things become theirs. The new stuff becomes theirs.
That's wild.
Funky dog-headed bitch spend all. Well, I mean, I don't know what she do for her money.
But here's the thing, though. Funky dog-headed bitch aside, the whole point of that is that they're in a position to be able to make moves younger and stack money and do things because their parents aren't like, yo, I need $800 a month from you, like, to do whatever. And now, mind you, I understand as your children grow, there's a level of responsibility you want them to incur. I do understand that. I tend to disagree with the way you go about it. Like, you tell your child to get a job. You tell your child to, enrich their education. You tell your child, these are the things you can equip your child with. Them giving you $600 a month is just like you sticking them up. You don't, if you was paying the rent all before this time, the whole 19 years before this, all of a sudden on my 20th birthday, the room worth $650 or $600 a month. Fuck out my face. Like
now, unless the parent has a plan where they just have you kind of paying into like a savings. Because I've seen that too. I've seen where people just collect the rent. They don't even use it. They put it up for the kid.
They put it up.
Yeah, once it's time for the kid to move on, hey, remember all those times? This is what I was setting you up for. I've seen that.
Well, that's kind of the plan me and mine had for ours. Like we definitely have kind of put that together in that very same way where, whatever they give us, we don't need the shit. We're going to put it up. And then we're going to make sure that they got a good seed to start with whenever they go with what they go do. But I don't think that enough people, particularly people who look like us, think that way when they doing this thing with their kids.
Or have the resources
because our parents, listen, our generation of parents, like if you are between 38 and 50, chances are your parents are a doozy, like a whole fucking doozy, like a lot of shit with them on a lot of different levels for a lot of different reasons. They lived through a lot of different fucking eras, a bunch of wild shit. Drugs, alcohol, like new drugs was still coming out when our parents was growing up. Like, there ain't no new drugs no more. Like, all the drugs that's out been around for a while. Yeah, and all the shit kind of like, whatever.
All the new shit is like, is reboots. You know how they, like, it's reboots of the old. You know what I mean? But even with that being said, there's no Bad Boys 3 and 4 drugs. It's like
right.
Like you know what I mean? It's just like
this new shit. I don't know. Where you just put it
witches,
in your fingernail,
you know what I mean?
And it absorbs in your fingernail, and you be high as shit. You got reboot drugs, finger coke, like whatever it is. The
reboot drugs is a hot take right there. I love that.
No, that's fire. I like that. I like that a lot. Reboot drugs for sure.
This is the new season of crack, nigga.
Like that exactly. But like, you don't know no new crackheads. You don't know no new crackheads. Any crackhead who you might still happen to know, they ain't start smoking crack in this century. Any crackhead, like they certainly not this decade. If you know a crackhead that starts smoking crack beyond 2020, it's like damn.
I had a crackhead conversation, like a new crackhead conversation when I didn't feel like washing my car one day. And I was like, damn, if this was back then, I would have just gave somebody a couple of dollars. My car would be spotless right now. But now, like you said, new crackheads don't exist. And old crackheads are just that, old crackheads.
They're old crackheads. Most of them don't even want it no more. They can't, that game ain't,
it does nothing for them,
Yeah, the game is beyond them now. They can't do it. A lot
of them niggas is clean.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like they gave it up because it just
the ones that
they clean. They just homeless as shit now.
Yeah, right. Or some of them in my case are dead and gone because they cleaned up their life and they bodies couldn't take that constant, I guess, abuse. You know what I mean? Like it just,
your body breaks down from that shit.
Yeah. And they didn't have it after. Like once they cleaned up, it's like, okay, I'm not doing crack, and then it's like, hey. we going to such and such funeral. What the fuck? They just got their shit together.
Right, exactly. But
your body's not used to that, like not having that.
Because it's something it becomes a lifestyle when you do it for 10, 15, 20, 25 years. When that's what you've been doing and all the shit you got to do to survive that kind of life within that, and you get to that point where you clean, it's like your body's like, thank you, now I'm resting. And that rest just be like rest, like the end of the shit. And like,
rest,
exactly. Like when you be thinking you gonna just get a little bit of sleep, that shit be a dub. Like
be a lot of bit of sleep.
Like, and so but all those things are factors within this, man. Like the expectations we place upon our children are based upon the expectations our parents placed upon us. Like,
which was mis or ill-informed when that shit was
100%.
placed on them because 100%. Of the generational differences. It was ill-informed coming from them because we all heard the spiel of good school, good job, good benefits, retire at this age. The retiring age moved, this moved, that inflation, this.
Facts.
Everything changed. So you cannot always go off of what they went off of because what your parents went off of is what they parents went off of. And they didn't have those opportunities that we have currently.
Right.
So shit is different. Everything, like you were saying earlier, everything is different from the police to the community, to the schools. Everything is fucking different. And it's so much information and misinformation being smashed in these kids' face. They don't know what the fuck to do.
Right. And they don't know what's right. They don't know what's wrong. They don't know what they see.
Everybody, my wife just talked about this earlier about everybody having a platform, everybody having a think piece. We just talked about it briefly, how people need to shut the fuck up and put their phone down.
Right.
These kids is a barrage of shit just coming at them in waves. They don't know. You know what I mean? And it's hard. I think it's harder now to be a kid than it was in the 1900s when I was a kid. It's way harder to be a fucking kid to exist.
Okay. Hood's having a little bit of technical difficulties over there. He's waiting for his shit to reboot. We just gonna keep it going while we do that. But the other part of that is access. And I talk about this all the time. In the age of social media, when everything's right in your hand, like everything you need to connect to everything in the world is directly in your hand 24/7. Having things like that changes the way kids look at the world. It changes the things that they're exposed to at different ages. Because me at 12 and a 12-year-old now, no matter what I may have been exposed to or what I may have found, I had to find that shit. It wasn't right there in front of me.
No.
It's readily available.
Right.
As far as shit that I wasn't supposed to know about or wasn't supposed to see or wasn't supposed to be doing, none of that shit was readily available for me.
Right.
I had to seek it.
You had to seek it out. Right.
I had to absolutely go looking for certain shit if that's what I wanted to be a part of.
That's the static porn situation. Like you really got to focus on that to see that titty to know what you're watching. Back then, we had to really seek that out.
Yeah.
Now it's just like titties.
Yeah, exactly. All you gotta do is pick up your phone, go to Google, and type in titty, and then
or don't even type it in. The algorithm will show you what you want.
Yeah, exactly. If you look at one titty, your phone will take you to the rest of the titties. That's what it's
all the titties. Right? We recommend these tits because you saw this. You saw this set. We recommend all these to you.
How many times have you been sitting there talking about some shit on your phone or with your phone around, and then the next time you pick your phone up, there's an ad for that thing immediately?
Yes. Like, sometimes it works in our favor, sometimes it does not.
Well, that's a case-by-case basis for sure.
Yes.
No, but like those things, that's not something we had to deal with.
No, that access is a motherfucker, man.
Yeah, man. And I think that part might be the most hard to quantify. Like that might be the most difficult piece to kind of get a hold of because it's only going to grow. That's not going to slow down. That's not going to stop. It's going to go the other direction.
In the information age, just like you said, it's only getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and the reach is getting wider.
And on top of that, so many of these things are they're kind of putting it into this quote unquote First Amendment bubble where it's like you don't even get like censorship or like any sort of, safeguard. It's just there, and it ain't nothing you really could do unless you on your helicopter parent, John, or you could just be on your, I'm gonna block everything off your phone and I'm gonna do all that, and that takes.
But even with that, if you block everything, the kids become who we were. We have to seek it now because it ain't here. So now, and then they got friends with phones.
I'm about to say, but it's so easy. My mom blocked this, and this off my phone. Go on this, and this, and see what you get.
Oh, word. Check this out, my nigga. Word. Your mom blocked that. Your mom drawing. Your mom a dickhead.
Watch
Check
this
out. Your dad a dickhead.
Real shit.
That's how it feels.
You sound just like our young boys too. They don't play that shit.
Because I'm trying to be of it, and I try to be present because I got two kids. I got a 15-year-old and an 8-year-old. So I'm trying to be present on not like overbearing, but I'm trying to be present where I understand what they may be going through. Right. I'm not going to understand everything because my children are female. I'm not going to understand everything, but I want to be present. Whereas though, if they say something, okay, I heard that term. I know what that is. Even if shit I don't know, I go to the either Urban Dictionary, I talk to other people with kids, or I talk directly to them. Hey, what does that term mean? Right. How is that relevant? I'm trying to be around it so if a problem occurs, I can be there to bat it off with them. You know what I mean?
And you're doing it right. It's the same. I'm fortunate enough to work in a high school, and I have high school children. So like it's literally around me all the time. I have to be tapped in with it because it's part of my job. It's not just my job as being a dad. It's literally part of how I make my living. So I need to be tapped in to how they talk and what they say and so on and so forth. And it's like it's funny because it's all about perspective for kids. Like my kids in my school think I'm the coolest motherfucker on the planet because they like, I wish I had an old head cool like that. But like my youngest son, like one day I can't even remember what I said or what term it was I used, and he was like, "What you say?" And I'm like, "Bro, like don't do that." Like, we gotta do that shit, bro. Like, don't do that. Like, I'm as tapped in as the next nigga. And then, tap in. But then what's funny is that I brought him to my school one day. And he saw me interact with them. And he was like, oh, shit. Like, my dad really wanted them boys. Like, he really had to see it in action for him to believe it. Like, no, like, I'm tapped in with y'all. Number one, like I said, because it's my job. Number two, I feel like if I can communicate with y'all in that way, I'm going to make a breakthrough that somebody else not going to make.
That somebody else cannot.
Yeah. And
it's not like you're not Joe or Dickie and these kids.
I'm not being extra or none of that. Yeah.
You're literally tapped in because you want to help them.
Right.
You want to get to the root of whatever problem that they may be having.
And that's what I'm doing that as my genuine self.
As your genuine self. And a lot of people are not on that type time. And that's where the sense of community is like kind of dying out because a lot of us ain't on that type time. Like if half of us was on that, where we're trying to be, we're consciously trying to be tapped in. Right. If half of us was on that, maybe some of this stuff would slow down. Maybe like a lot of stuff would go on.
100%. 100%. I can tell you for a fact that there have been several times where I've had conversations with some of the young men even the young ladies, when they go through the shit they go through, that I've had conversations with them where I know for a fact talking to me stopped them from doing something dumb. Yes. Like, I don't have to guess. I don't have to make an estimate as to whether that's the case. Absolutely 100% beyond a shadow of a doubt, having a conversation with me and giving them my perspective on whatever their problem was, stop them from making a dumbass decision. I know that. It happened several times a week, all throughout my 15 years of doing what I do. That's just what it is. There needs to be more of that. I'm not asking everybody to be me. You don't got to go and do what I do. I'm a dean at a high school in the hood. My job hard as shit. I don't expect nobody to do that if that's not what you do. Like,
nobody consciously want to do that. Right. But what you're saying is step up.
Right. If you got a young boy that's your neighbor and he lived with his grandma, and you see his grandma taking the trash out one day, and you see that young boy, you say, hey, let me holler at you real quick, youngin.
Yeah.
Fuck is your like? I don't care what you out here doing. What is your grandma like? Little shit. Because although that seems like a really small piece, it's a builder. It's a character builder. And it's one of those things that gives them values.
When you, being you, tell them that you give them that nugget of information or that you have that dialogue with them, that changes that one little instant. That's the butterfly effect, right? It changes the trajectory of whatever they got going on, that's coming after that. So if you say, hey, my mom or grandma, whoever, don't need to be taking out the trash, you need to be doing that. In my head, I always think how that trickles down to their homies. When their homies like, yo, man, hey, don't do that because this is this and that.
I'm sorry. Why are you shirtless, nigga? Oh, God.
His Wi-Fi don't work unless his titties out.
Is that what it is? Okay.
That's a fact.
Oh, shit.
I don't got titties, though. I got, like, chesticles. I got, like, square, like, the SpongeBob.
My nigga said chesticles. Anyway, but yeah, no, to the point you're making, though.
You helping, having that dialogue, having that conversation with that kid goes on to another kid because all these kids is talking. They all talking. So whatever you instill in him or her, I don't,
right.
That's going on to the next kid.
Sometimes it's her.
Right. That you probably know. That next kid that you don't even fucking know, what you gave to this kid is going to that kid. And probably going to, you know what I mean? It's the not pyramid. It's
butterfly
like
effect.
Yeah, butterfly effect. It's a trickle down / butterfly / whatever. Yeah. No, absolutely. Because if they witness you, and particularly because they all watch each other, and if they see you deal with them and the problem gets solved, it's like, damn, boy's solid. Like when I got an issue, I know he a good person to go to. And you know what? They might have 17 more issues from that point and come to you with issue number 18. But as long as they feel like that's a space where they could come to and really just, do their thing, you always going to have that connection. I don't think enough of us make that attempt to do that. Now,
as adults, we're the platform.
Exactly. And I think we got to start. But I think to that, I don't know if y'all, I'm pretty sure you both have, but it's like a little social media joint, like a little video where boy come out the crib, put his jacket on, stretch, he's standing on the steps. Young boy sitting there, and he say, "Good morning, youngin." He said, "I don't know you, stranger danger, stranger danger." And he run down the street. Boy come up and was like, "Yo, what the fuck you say to him?" He said, "I just said good morning." He said, "We don't do that nut ass shit around here." and the whole neighborhood proceeds to roast this nigga for telling the young boy good morning.
Word.
So it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
but the truth of the matter is, it's kind of sad because that's real shit. You can't.
That's a dramatized version, but it is real. Like,
like it's that real. Like you really can't say good morning to some of these young boys. I know little motherfuckers I've said good morning to 1,000,000 times, and they look me dead in the face and just walk right past me. But will see me an hour and a half later and give me the what's up, like the whole day.
Yeah.
Like they just don't fuck with the morning. I don't know.
That's me. I was about to say you must be talking about me specifically because I would look you dead in your fucking face. Why the fuck are you talking to me before 9 a.m.?
Yeah, man. Like I don't know, man. It's like I said.
There's a lot of moving parts to that. It's a lot.
It's the trauma piece. It's the generational curse piece. It's the policing piece. It's the parenting piece. It's the mental health piece because we don't address that shit enough in our neighborhoods and our communities at all. It's a stigma. If you go see a therapist, you telling that white man our business. That's the dumb shit we put in our people. Like that kind of shit. So it's that. It's a lot of levels to it, man. Like I said, it's a conversation we can have 9 million more times and still not find any like concrete ground to stand on with it because it's just that complex and it's just that many layers. But what I want people to start doing is I want people to start listening to opinions outside of yours within this. Like I saw a lot of people. I brought this conversation because I kind of saw a lot of people like kind of arguing good points to prove their point. Like I saw one person online who was like, lock the parents up, do this, do that, do this, do that. And I'm like, yeah, I hear that, but does that really stop anything? Because now
you're making it worse.
Because now you lock my mom up.
Fucking parents.
Because now you lock my mom up. I get hit with a juvie charge. My mom get hit with an adult charge. Now I'm sitting without my mom. Now I'm really mad at the world. And the next nigga I kill is on purpose and not by accident because I was doing too much. Right. Like, people don't think about that when they say shit like that. And I'm not, and of course, that's an extreme that I'm taking it to, but it's not an unrealistic outcome. It's in no way, shape, or form out of the realm of possibility when you start getting courts and you know the law and the system involved in these families, because all that shit is paperwork to them, bro. They process that shit like paperwork. Yeah,
because
that's your
they
mom.
just doing a fucking job.
For them, your mom is paperwork. Like, once you get put on them papers, that's what you are. You a number in that system for good. Like in my man Umar voice, you are always a number in that system, no matter what.
Fuck God!
It never goes away because you have to. Like now, you're part of the business. You're a business entity now. You like a stock now, nigga. Once you get locked up, you like a stock. Like you understand?
Yeah, that's a fact.
And your crime record will dictate the value of your stock. How long we gonna have this nigga with us? Let's see what we gonna do. Is he gonna be a valuable nigga? And if we give him these charges, will we see him again and have him paying court costs and fines and doing this when he goes upstate for that? Like, you're part of the business now. So, you know, like I said, man, it's a million different things we could unpack with that. We could do that shit all night, but we're not going to. We 2 hours in, literally anything podcast for the people. We are now about to get into closing thoughts though, because we're about to shut it down for the evening. Bro, in your closing thoughts, explain to us why you don't have a shirt on. Like, how about that?
All right, so why would one take their shirt off?
Bro,
it's
why
hot,
would you take it off now?
It's hot. It's hot.
Okay.
That thick ass Nike authentic jersey, nigga, I've been wearing that bitch.
Listen,
it's hot.
It's hot. All right, Will Smith. No, all right. Listen, I'm gonna let it go. What's your real closing thought, though, bro? What's up? What's on your mind?
Oh, I wrote some stuff. Well, I've been writing some daily affirmations. So I was roll fizzle beef. Glorilla is the hardest out. I'm rapping again. Leave these motherfuckers alone, man. Harry Potter is a bitch. A. Marie got classics.
Facts.
That's a fact though.
Yeah. Cheese isn't great, and neither is bacon for real.
All right, I don't agree with that second part. Cheese is a like, you know, take it or leave it. I understand people who don't like cheese. You wilding with bacon though, nigga. Bacon makes everything.
No. I love bacon. It's just not the thing that makes everything better.
Okay.
Neither is cheese. And also, like, just because your homie made it, your mom made it, your sister made it, it don't mean that it's quality, bro. It's a lot of y'all out here making these platters, making these t-shirts, want to be all in the video. That's not like is and then be crying about support. Like,
hey man.
It's scary times out here. And y'all cannot continue to be this way. Y'all can't.
Some of these, like, y'all don't know how to make macaroni and cheese. Let me say it out loud.
Yo, you know who do?
Like y'all niggas don't know how to make macaroni and cheese. And I know that by the pictures you post. I can tell. Because this is where y'all fuck up, right? Take the picture before somebody take a spoonful. Because on the top, that shit be lovely. Little crust on the top, cheese melted, shit be beautiful. You took that scoop in and it's just dry noodle for like 3/4 of the bottom of the pan. Y'all niggas don't know how to make macaroni and cheese. Stop that shit.
Yeah, pour them panties aside.
Like, exactly, my nigga.
I'm trying to see paradise.
Y'all niggas be wilding out here. Milky ass monstrosities. Shit just be wet noodles on the bottom of a pan with a thin layer of cheese at the top. Stop it, y'all. Y'all grandma would roll over in her goddamn grave if she knew y'all was making that nasty
your grandma would head spin in her grave.
Like, cut that shit out, man. Y'all know how to make no goddamn macaroni and cheese, and I'm tired of telling y'all. I said it before, and I don't have to keep telling y'all about this shit. Cut it the fuck out. Y'all don't know what y'all doing. Y'all don't.
Oh, seafood boils is overrated. That's another one. Seafood.
Well, I'm allergic to seafood, so I can't eat that shit. But I always thought putting a bunch of fucking sea roaches in a bag was a bit overhyped to me. But that's just
bro, nigga, I'm telling you, if a dude be a roach at PetSmart right now, I could get 50 of them bitches for $13.99. Taste that good with butter and garlic and goddamn Old Bay, bro. I promise you, I would be at PetSmart right now.
I don't understand. Like, I just need everybody, and I'm a hater because I can't eat it. But most of that shit that y'all like is scavengers. Like, y'all be eating roaches. Like,
hold on. Nah. Nope. You want to know why I'm not gonna let you do that? Because most of the niggas I know are scavengers too. So
you be eating niggas? Because I was speaking about eating shrimp. You made an awful comparison.
Nope. They say you are the company you keep and you are what you eat. They're the same thing. Nope. Look, you see, I punched out of that one.
No, you didn't. Yep. You might think you did, nigga, but you did. Yep. Anyway.
Yo, you know, it'd be the wildest thing ever. Like, what if? Never mind. Because you not gonna find it funny. No. Because Kev's not gonna find it funny. Kev's not gonna find it funny, bro.
It don't matter. I'm here today. Do it for me, my nigga.
Like, what if I just got cooked that bad? And like y'all woke up the next day and like I jumped off the balcony, like really, like that was the thing, like that.
Yeah, like you're right. You know, like, don't play like that. That's not funny.
Like that was the thing. Like, oh, fuck enough.
And besides, we done cooked you like
no. Like exactly.
It's nothing that we can say to you that would make me feel like you should react like that. I would be mad at you for bitching because you didn't cook
enough.
I would be mad at you for bitching because you definitely could worse.
That's the one?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what my response was like. Nigga,
I told him that song was trash and he still put it on the album.
Right. No, that won't be the one. Damn, that's funny as shit. Brother Rob, first off, Rob, as always, bro, I appreciate you showing up for us, man. It's always a good time when you pull up, bro. I've like I said, just always indebted for you gracing us with your presence whenever I ask. I appreciate it, good brother.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Your final thought before we get up out of her?
My final thought is stop taking every fucking thing at face value. Do some research.
Talk.
Look into it.
Talk.
Have a conversation about it with yourself. Don't pull your phone out just yet. If you saw it on your phone, leave it on your phone. Because the whole McDonald's and one kid thing was blown out of proportion. This whole Orlando Brown, and I'm sure there's been plenty of situations prior to this that have been blown out of fucking proportion because people don't know when to shut the fuck up and just ingest something, hold it there, and process it. No, everybody got to have a fucking opinion. Shut the fuck up. Look at it for what it is and keep it the fuck moving. We don't need to know your opinion. We don't need to have your think piece. We don't need to have a brainstorming session about what the fuck they just said. Listen, process it.
Unless you want to literally anything podcast, then we want to hear your think piece. If you're here, we can talk about those things. If you happen to be on a Wednesday night on IG and you want to go to the
no, don't do that. Don't fucking come on my show with the dumb shit.
No,
because
you want to ask a question. It's questions. If you want to ask questions and have that,
don't come over here with that.
No, I wasn't going to send the goofy shit to you, bro. That was just
listen.
He said, "No, hey, them bitches that cute, they can't come over here." This is always me every time.
Yeah, no.
I will shut them the fuck down.
Rob show on Wednesdays is fire, but they get wild in there. It's different. Yeah. This is the reserved Rob RileyReally. They're like, I'm gonna add a fourth R to your shit. It's reserved Rob RileyReally on
because
here.
I'm on a respected platform with some respected folks, and I know how. This is my like this.
Wait a minute, why would you make that face for our show, nigga? Yes, this is a respected platform.
Oh,
Why the fuck did you look so surprised?
Okay, I'm invited. I've come from watching the show to being a part of the show.
I ain't gonna hold you. I really thought you'd be in it. Like you was leading the boys' church choir the first time I ever seen you. Like I didn't know you got. I didn't know that was.
I'm with it. Kev know where I'm from.
Bro, my bro brings his lawyer to the show a lot. He like sometimes he let his actual real self creep out, but on this airwaves, that's his representative. Go on that on Wednesday. Go on that Joe on Wednesday night. You get to see Rob like fully.
How can I be on there?
Huh?
I just want to be on there.
Just show up.
Yo, if you show up, he'll invite you. Last time he invited me on, but I was cooking dinner and shit, and I couldn't jump on. But
that
if you show up,
crack. He talking about he was cooking dinner. Dinner niggas they tune in. They'll put the phone on the joint. This nigga was cooking some other shit over there, and he just was like, "I don't want nobody to see this."
Listen, man. Like I said, I wasn't always doing what I do, but anyway. So closing thought for me. I'm gonna take it off for everything we kind of been talking about. For those who might not know. I talked about it a little bit here. I'm a huge battle rap fan. I kind of fell off a little bit, and I kind of got back in the last 2 months. I kind of kept catching up on everything that I kind of been missing out on. Go on YouTube, go King of the Dot page, watch every Bill Collector battle from season 1 of that tournament. That brother is rapping at a different fucking level. Like. It's rapping and then it's the rapping bros though. Did you watch the joint I sent you, bro?
Nope, nigga. But listen, I
know you familiar with Bill Rob. I'm gonna send you one too because I know you would appreciate it. But I'm saying that to say
I'm literally about to right now too.
There's an event, there's a battle rap event. The date has not been announced, but there's a Philadelphia card for Smack coming up real soon. I'm pretty sure that Freeway and Cassidy battle is going to be on that card. I feel pretty confident that it will be. LAP will be in the building for that battle. At least I will. I don't know if the whole team will be there. You probably won't because I'm sure you'll be.
We moving around. We going to Made in America. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that out loud, but we going to Made in America. Should be moving around.
I mean, no, I understand. You just told us how the hierarchy works, and you're gonna get out and have some fun. But I just want to, remember the shit that you like. Like. Sometimes you get so caught up in the shit you gotta do, like work, school, children, all these other things. For me, this podcast and the shit that you do, that you forget how much joy you got out of shit. I really forgot how much I enjoyed just sitting down watching a good battle between two people who come up with 9 minutes of material and like a 3-week pattern and remember all that shit. Like I really forgot how tuned in with that shit I used to be, and like I'm really picking back up on it, and it really made me think about the fact that I didn't have a reason for falling off with it. I just did. Like I just kept making excuses as to why I wasn't watching it or why I wasn't doing it. And then I kind of lost what I was getting out of it.
That shit is high level art.
It's for you. Oh hell yeah, man. I listen. If you battle every 3 months and you got to come up with 3 to 5 minutes for 3 rounds of material, remember it perfectly, perform it in a way where the crowd connects to you and your opponent feels
that's
like
art.
It's a lot to it. I have an amazing amount of respect for any battle rapper that's ever, like, if you stood on any of them stages one time, I got respect for you because I done been in them rooms with them events, and that shit is intense. When you got a bunch of high drunk strangers who just want you to be violent on stage, yelling at you, it's just a different. Them rooms is different, bro. Like in a small room, I've been in a small room for the small room battles, and I've been in one of them big rooms for that John up there. Like it's an energy that's not like. And if you've been to a rap concert, it's not the same. Like it's just not the same. If you went to a DMX show, a Jay-Z show, a Busta, Dirt, 21, anybody you could think of. None of that shit looks like that. None of it. So like I said, I got back to that, and it was a dope thing for me. It made me feel better about, like, you know, just realizing that I'm still true to some of the shit that I like. Stay true to the shit that really makes you you. Those moments are important as hell, man. Stay true to the shit that really makes you you, and don't make excuses for why you can't do the things that you like to do for you. do that, man. Make sure you take care of yourself. That is a major part of self-care and part of the thing that we need to be better at as people in general. So that's my closing thought. This is Literally Anything podcast for the people. My main Rob Riley, really, him, Allen, because my guys, Easy the Black Captain got he's got a clothing line called Himothy. Because he calls it Timothy, and he got shirts and hoodies and hats. That shit's fire to me. I like it. Yeah, man, we'll be back here same time next week doing the same shit, talk a little shit, have a little fun. I don't know who's going to be on the panel, but I'll announce that they'll be here, and the show will be good. And if it's not good, I'm gonna say it's good because it's my shit, and that's how it goes. So you know what I mean? Y'all be safe. Keep your kids out the street, especially at 30 in the morning. Hopefully everybody gets here in one piece next week. And that'll be that. LAP, we out. Peace and blessings.